Hey guys, Camfrey 15. Join with my co-host Red Wolf, and we are back talking Sonic the Hedgehog.
I kid you not, guys. The whole time we were at the theater, I was literally at the edge of my seat. No pun intended, because sh Shadow is edgy. Yeah, yeah. Okay, I'm sorry.
Look, man, Sonic the Hedgehog 3, one of the most highly anticipated Sonic, obviously, things to come out, and then obviously one of the most highly anticipated movies of 2024 to come out is finally here. We ended up seeing the movie last night, well, on Thursday evening. The movie officially came out today, but I don't know, it's weird. You can see these movies the night before the movie eventually comes out.
Yeah, it's weird.
So, honestly, these movie releases should just be on the Thursday or the day before they release, because they give me movie show times, which is
Mm.
funny when I think about it. But regardless, anyways, we reviewed Sonic 1, we reviewed Sonic 2, and now we're here for Sonic 3. The only thing we didn't review together was the Knuckles series, but
Well, yeah, because
maybe that'll be a video
yeah,
for
I
another.
said nothing. Maybe.
So, but we did both watch it. But anyways, um, this is one of the most highly anticipated movies, Sonic properties that we were getting. It literally is capping off the year of Shadow the Hedgehog, literally because the build up to this movie was literally Shadow the Hedgehog this, Shadow the Hedgehog that. We got like an animated like little Shadow the Hedgehog Dark Beginnings, which then led into Sonic X Shadow Generations, basically getting a remake of Sonic Generations, but with Shadow the Hedgehog storyline purpose with an amazing game there. And then obviously, which recently came out for that game, the Sonic 3 movie, tie-in level. Um, and everything. So yes. Look, all I can say is this movie's good. Go check it out. Go see it. It's fun, it's dope, and it's amazing.
Hmm.
That's where the non-spoilers stop there. It's like the thumbnail says, this video is with spoilers. So we're getting into the damn spoilers because I need to talk about this shit because we are getting a Sonic universe. We'll talk about that mid credits and that post credit scene, but let's start off the movie. So legitimately, we start the movie off hot. We're not taking our time. We start the movie right on the spot. Prison Island, right then and there. And I'm just watching the movie. The moment the screen comes on, they show Prison Island. I was like, oh, we just starting off hot like this. Oh, we starting off like this right now. Okay. Um, so basically, the thing is, you have it to where okay, Prison Island, just like the only difference is, yeah, that's the same thing that happened in the video game Sonic Adventure 2, the game that's adapted. Um, he gets freed, which we later find out it's basically Joe Robotnik that frees him, not Eggman. Um, and basically, Shadow's been in prison for 50 years. He then wakes up, breaks through the glass because his heart starts to resuscitate and he's got consciousness, and he legitimately kicks the asses of these gun soldiers. And the way he was teleporting all over the place, it was just like the Shadow the Hedgehog opening from the original PlayStation 2 GameCube game when he's
Yeah,
just
that back when he was like kicking black arms, kicking the ass of black arm minions.
yes, yes. A lot of homages, a lot of homages, a lot of things that they do in the game. I won't get every single one of them because again, it's a day later. And then two, it's like I would have to legitimately go in a movie theater and actually probably like get down notes of what I missed and what I did see. But regardless, there's some things that I do remember vividly that are kind of homages to the games or any other games in Sonic's history. So you get that whole moment. He breaks through Prison Island legitimately, and Prison Island is exactly where it is. It's in the middle of like an ocean area. He just breaks out, jumps on the water, starts skating on it, and he runs to Tokyo, Japan. Um, Then that's when we lead up to Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and the Wachowskis. My
Yes.
prediction is that Tom and Maddie will have a child, but they don't have a child. Tika Sumter, Maddie's character, who plays Maddie, um, doesn't give any alerts to the fact like, oh, she's pregnant or anything. No, I still have my hardest of hearts. I still, at some point in one of these dang movies, if they continue to keep Donut Lord and Maddie in the movies, um, I could see it to where maybe they maybe do an angle where she is pregnant and they give birth to a kid. My prediction is always, and I told my friend this morning or last night, like, hey, listen, man, they could make a Christopher Thorndike, but it would be Christopher Wachowski. But I don't know if people want to see that. But if they want to do Sonic lore, you have them have a baby and name it Chris because Chris is from Sonic X.
Yeah. Yeah. That would be interesting to see.
So what happens in this scene when we
Yes, it
first see
starts
our
off with
heroes?
yeah, it starts off with Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles lining up, and Sonic in a bathtub and I guess duck feet. Like, oh, I thought you were going swimming, but no, it turns out they're about to have a race. And yes, Sonic immediately changes, and he goes like, "You really think you can stand up to the blue blur himself?" And uh, Tom and Manny getting like readies them up, and they on their marks, get set, go. They go off running, and as Sonic is running, it's like to no surprise, the blue blur in the lead. But then Knuckles comes crashing in, and also Tails too. But Sonic speeds up, and then he crosses the finish line. But as he crosses the finish line, he notices Tails and Knuckles doing the stomping their foot, waiting animation when he got there. Um, but then he noticed that they were just holograms. So he immediately ran back to where he thought they were, and one thing led to another. It was it was met with a surprise party for him. And so yes, it's a happy Be Earth Day. Yeah, yeah. So like Happy Be Earth Day. What is that? And Tom explained it's basically the day you first came to Earth. So
So I
yeah,
take it's been about 1 year since the events of the original for the
I guess
first
so.
movie. So 1 year has passed. That's the timeline.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. There you go. Yes, yes, yes. Also, in the thing, again, my friend made the mention they did the waiting pose. That's from the classic original games. When Sonic touched the gold thing, the goal post, they played the little jingle, the dun 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 dun.
Mm-hmm.
So you got your little classic homages right there. There's a part in this scene where Sonic looks and finds his old cave from the first game. He's looking through everything that, in his first time there, he found his freaking nunchucks, which he calls his defense system. And just like in the first game, he does the freaking nunchuck thing, but hit him fucking self. Um, that
Mm-hmm.
was hilarious. I will say this, I enjoyed the experience, but I was very disappointed in my theater. Very disappointed in my theater. They did not react to nothing. I was
Uh,
actually questioning if they were fucking Sonic fans. And I think my sister who was in the movie theater watching said, like, I guess the people behind us had an issue with me speaking. Well, then I would have turned around and showed them, man, if you guys really Sonic fans, you'd be reacting to fucking movie theaters like I am. I don't
I'm not
care.
gonna I'm not gonna lie, Cameron. You are the loudest person to be with in a movie theater.
I don't
Yeah,
give a fuck.
I'm gonna lie.
That just guess what? If that ruins the movie for someone, well then guess what? I'll just be like, no. Why don't you guys react too? That just tells me y'all guys ain't no damn fans. You just here to just watch a damn movie and get up out of here. See, real fans would be like, oh my God. But
Mm,
see, no, we ain't got no real fans. We got these casual fans up in here that come buy movie ticket just to go watch a movie. They ain't no real fans. I'm just playing, but I'm just saying. There needs to be reactions. I haven't heard any reactions. Let's be honest. Every time I go to movie theaters, it's dead ass quiet in there, right? I remember back when I was younger, when we watched movies, there would be people applauding
Hmm.
when we were children. Now people just quiet. And then people get upset if you say something during the movie, like, oh my God. And somebody says, shut up. See, that's when I turn around, like, no, why don't you shut your fucking ass up? I'm watching the movie too. React.
Let's get back to the movie review instead of
Yes,
reviewing.
anyways. This leads to a whole discussion because eventually Sonic finds the drawing of him and Longclaw that he drew, and basically it's kind of this whole thing, and that's one of the messages in the story about family and not changing who you truly are because of loss, and the fact that in some cases loss do make you stronger in a positive way. And basically it was Tom telling Sonic like, hey, you know, guess what? You have it in your heart. You ain't no different. You're the Sonic you are, and you got past all that loss because of the person who you are within within your heart, right? Which is a parallel to what the heck was what Shadow had to deal with. So we do. Shadow ends up going to Tokyo. He walks in the open. Everybody's looking at him like, "Oh, what the hell is going on?" Shadow then realizes like it's 2024. Also, can I just say this? Keanu Reeves, amazing. He was amazing as Shadow.
Yes, like,
Perfect casting.
it's been 50 years.
Um, I now want to simulate Keanu Reeves as Shadow the Hedgehog. I love it. I love it.
Hmm.
Idris Elba is Knuckles the Echidna. My goodness. I never thought in my lifetime we would have Keanu Reeves voice acting a Sonic character.
Hmm.
After all the John Wick movies he's been a part of, this man is not only John Wick, he's Shadow the Bleeping Hedgehog. Crazy, 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 crazy. Um, Gunn then surrounds him, and then that's when things get crazy. Um, so then all of a sudden, they're eating food and they're basically forcing like nothing could get crazy. We're finally at peace. And then Gun comes in and everything and legitimately just like, hey, there's problems. We need your help. Okay, sure, go ahead. Yeah. So we jump straight into the action. They get a ring. They use the ring portal to get to Japan instantly. And we're already jumping into this thing. I'm watching the movie over here. I'm like, I did not expect us to be jumping into this movie this fast for all this stuff already. I thought it would take a while, but I'm not mad. I'm not mad. That's one of the pros. When they throw you into this movie, they throw you into the movie. They're getting straight to the point.
Mm. Yep. We have a rogue alien on the loose. What's the big plan? He says the most famous line, one of the more famous lines from the trailers. And as we expect, an explosion goes on, and Tails points out, "Start with the giant fireball." And Sonic explains, "I love it. Let's start with the giant fireball."
So they jump out of the helicopter, the gun helicopter, and they just
When,
doing
when Sonic jumped out and said the famous line from Sonic Adventure 2, I lost my shit.
go ahead and say it.
What a little bit of fight. No food or movies. We're at it. Oh my God.
There you go. Sonic
I
goes
can't, I can't believe that he actually said it.
there you go. They fall out of the L they start skydiving again. One of the more badass skydiving moments I've seen in any movie straight up. We get our badass, but this was like badass. You do get a Sonic Heroes reference. Just before they land, they do the fly formation thing where Tails is on top, Knuckles in the no Sonic's in the middle, and then Knuckles is right under from him. They did that. It was a quick little thing right there. That's a Sonic Heroes reference right there from the games. I thought I was like, oh shit, they did Sonic Heroes thing right there. Um, and then that's when they get confronted by Shadow. They see Shadow. They're like, they have the whole banter of Sonic and Shadow doing the like, the
Why do
hell
you
are
look
who
like
you
me?
why do you look like me? And then Shadow's like, why do you look like me? And then he's like, but you look like me. I'm me before you, me, blah blah blah. And then Shadow's just like, I don't have time for this shit. So they basically try to negotiate with Shadow to be like, hey man, look, man, we ain't come in peace. We just want to ask you some questions. What's up? What's your story?
Yeah,
And
because
Shadow's just like not hearing. He's like, man, please, you guys came out of a fucking gun truck. Why am I going to talk to you losers, right? So he looks like he's going to go walk off and do what he needs to go do. Knuckles over here, like, I would like to fight, please, but that's before Sonic's like, no, we're not doing that. But then after Shadow tries to walk off, that's when he's like, all right, it's time to fight now. It's time to kick some ass. But then Shadow looks back, he just teleports, and then he basically twists Knuckles' arm, kicks him into this freaking store. Knuckles basically is like, oh my God, what? So, they basically get him up. Sonic's like, look, man, we don't want to fight, but you leave it with no choice. It's 3 against 1. You stand absolutely no shot to beat us. He can't
sight.
take us out.
Yeah, but of course, as we expected, Shadow teleports, kicks Knuckles and Tails out of the way, and then grabs Sonic and lifts him up into the air, just like in the trailers, and then slams him into the ground.
Yeah. He basically, then after that, Sonic's like, he's got it strong. And again, another game reference just from the opening of the Shadow the Hedgehog game where Sonic's in front, but then he falls over after Shadow defeats him. It's the same thing there. You get here another homage to the Shadow the Hedgehog opening there. I know if you're a Sonic fan, you definitely marked out. Now,
Mhm.
personally, I've already seen the clip, so I didn't really mark out in the theaters, but whatever, right? So Shaolin gets on his iconic motorcycle with the gun. It's not an actual like pistol. It's like an energy gun, really.
Hmm.
So he drives off. He basically tells him like, "Don't follow me." So he drives off. Sonic gets back up and he's gonna go start following. Tails is like, "Oh, wait, what? I don't know if you should be doing this. Let's make good decisions." Because that was another thing this movie emphasized: making good decisions, right? You know. And basically, Sonic's like, "The good decision is I'm gonna go get him." Okay, so he speeds off, and
Yeah,
then you get the, huh?
he says, when has that ever stopped me?
I'm not quoting lines from the movie. I don't care. I'm just here to explain what the movie is about. Anyways,
Whatever you say, man.
you can be my quote guy. You can be my quote guy.
Not if you talk all the time, but okay.
Anyways, Sonic chases after him. So you get your first Sonic versus Shadow fight. I guess if you want to say this is kind of somewhat of an homage more to their fight on Space Colony Arc, I guess you can say that's the case, but whatever. You have a chase scene right here. Sonic's wondering, like, hey man, I just want to talk, man. Can we just like slow down? Or what do you need? And basically, Shadow says the thing like, dude, can you shut up? You're so annoying, man. So you have your typical thing where Shadow don't like, and again that's a game reference. Shadow hates Sonic when he talks. He gets quite annoyed.
The harder I want to hit you.
So the thing is, he starts shooting his gun. Sonic's dodging all over the place. The chase scene visuals were absolutely amazing. He going all over the place, spinning into spin dashing and everything. I'm like, what's going on here? This shit is going OD. Again,
We even see scenes like Sonic going through a truck, like scaring a truck driver. Excuse me, and we see in that visual that the truck driver dropped his drink. Like he
don't
was like,
drink and drive, guys. Don't drink and drive.
well, I don't know if it was like an alcoholic drink, but yeah, I digress.
Yes. So you get the scene. They run up the tower. Well, they're not running up the tower. There's a part where actually they go in the air, and before they get to the tower, Shadow just like uses, I guess, his chaos energy and just magnetizes himself to get onto the tower. This man's riding a motorcycle up a tower. I'm
Bro,
just like,
he's Ghost Rider for real.
my God. I'm watching this thing. I'm just like, I'm like, this thing is getting crazy right now. So it gets to the point he jumps high in the air. Sonic is right at the tower top. He basically jumps off. his motorcycle. Sonic jumps up. They're both charged up with their energy. They clash,
Yeah,
blackout.
yeah. It sends everybody out of power outage once again.
So after that happened, Sonic ended up blacking out. He was handcuffed because Shadow ended up handcuffing him and everything. Basically, Sonic and or Tails and Knuckles catches up and everything, and basically Tails like, see, if you just had us helping, we're a team. We got to do this. They also make a reference about Team Sonic again. It's another Sonic Heroes homage because that's an actual team name in them. And
Mhm.
Knuckles over here is like Team Knuckles.
Well, that was back at the helicopter, but yeah.
Yes. Anyways, that's when you have it to where the gun commander, I forgot his name, but he basically, I guess you can say, replaces the guy from the Shadow the Hedgehog games, the gun commander in that game, Abe or whatever, right?
Abraham Tower.
Yeah, yeah, Tower or whatever. So he's like, "Come on, we need to have this serious conversation, right?" So then they go to and obviously if you've seen the trailers and everything, you know, and the photos, you know where they go next. They literally go to this restaurant called the Chow Garden.
Yes, where the iconic line from the trailer shows up, where a little girl walks up to Tails and asks, "Are you Detective Pikachu?" Yeah, then we Sonic says, "Yes, he is." Knuckles just goes, "Haha, he does look like a Pokemon. Pika Pika."
Yeah, you blurted out laughing when you heard that. I know you blurted out laughing when you heard him say that line.
Honestly, yes, I heard it so many times now because of the trailers, but seeing it in theaters for the first time, it really hit the spot.
Listen, I'm still down for Detective Pikachu too. Not
I
just Detective Pikachu 2. I think Netflix is doing another Pokemon live action movie, but I would like to actually see a full-fledged in movie theaters live action Pokemon movie. Because Detective Pikachu movie looked good. The Pokemon looked great in that movie. I'm still
Mhm.
shocked we have not gotten another live action Pokemon movie since then.
Yeah.
Like they could make so much money off of that. You
Yeah,
could
but what would the story be? Would it be a continuation of Detective Pikachu or like something else, something entirely original?
actually, if you wanted to do a movie series based off Ash, go right ahead. You just have a live action Ash catching with Pikachu.
Hmm.
They could go that way.
Maybe.
But I don't know. I think they're making a live action movie on Netflix. Anyways, so you see the chows and everything. Now it's not actually chows. It's just people dressed up in different looking chow costumes. So
Uh-huh.
clearly this is a reference to Sonic Adventure 1 and Sonic Adventure 2 with the Chow Gardens, right? And stuff
Mhm.
like that, where you could raise your own Chow and everything. We don't see the angel or demon Chow in this movie, so if you're looking forward to seeing that, I guess you don't get that.
Mhm.
Now, could this be a reference where later on, eventually, when they establish more characters in the show, do we actually will we actually see Chow like cheese, for example? Maybe.
Mhm.
I don't think we'll see Chow until I guess the live action movies want to adapt the Sonic Adventure storyline with Chaos. Because you know that's coming. You know that's gonna come eventually. They have to do
Oh,
that live
oh,
action.
they had to. They had to.
Legitimately. I honestly, and again, I feel like that could be the Sonic 5 movie. Sonic 5 movie. I think that would be a
Mhm.
great Sonic 5. Again, we'll talk about where Sonic 4 potentially could go. Um, but they did Sonic Adventure 2. They got to give me a live action Sonic Adventure 1 type of remake movie, and we got to get fucking Chaos. Oh my, I can only imagine see a live action Chaos. Chaos 7. Oh my God.
Chaos.
That shit might be OD.
Perfect chaos.
Now, see, I don't think that would be a movie that can introduce Silver, but if they wanted to do that and make Chaos even stronger in the movies than he was in the games, I'm all for it. And you just have the three hedgehogs teaming up together.
Yes. Well, anyways, back to the gun commander. They questioned the gun commander about Shadow and who he is, and the gun commander he explained how what like basically Shadow went through and what drove him to being the way he is right now. Yes, with the iconic line, Shadow's story began a lot like yours, Sonic, but where you found family and friends, he only found pain and loss.
So yes. Let's talk about the Shadow backstory in the movie and how they handle this. So, number one, Shadow was not artificially made by Gerald Robotnik. They have it to where he came from an asteroid
Hmm.
that landed on planet Earth.
Now, granted, that asteroid looks pretty dark, so it could still be a tie-in, but yes.
So this is immediately different than what was originally happened. And also too, in the flashbacks, when he's hanging out with Maria, we do see a tribute to the Bio Lizard, but he pretending to be like he's Godzilla.
Yeah.
And then again, I was watching another reviewer about this, and it makes no sense because if you're wondering, like, well, then why didn't I guess you want to nitpick about this movie? Well, why didn't they give us the Bio Lizard? Well, if you remember from the video games, the Bio Lizard was created before Shadow the Hedgehog because the Bio Lizard is the prototype to the ultimate life form, right? But since
Yeah.
in this universe, this Sonic realm or universe, since he came down from a comet or an asteroid, Joe Robotnik needed no reason to create the Bio Lizard, right?
Hmm. Not only that, we already established that Maria is not sick here, so.
Yeah. Oh, so number one, just hotspot theory. He came from an asteroid. We know from the video game lore, he was created not only from Gerald Robotnik's science, but for him to basically be livable. Gerald Robotnik got in contact with Black Doom of the Dark Arms, or no, the Dark Arms, the Black Arms, and basically some of Dark Black Doom's blood is within Shadow. So what I'm guessing is what they can do is if they want to do either. Honestly, it'd probably be better to do just a standalone Shadow the Hedgehog movie, and maybe you just have like Sonic and Friends be the side characters in the film, right? It establishes the fact that he came from an asteroid. You can have it to where at some point, if you want to have a Shadow the Hedgehog movie or even another Sonic the Hedgehog movie, but this time the main villains are the Black Arms, there you go. That's your tie-in right then and there. And you can have it
Mhm.
to where Black Doom when he comes down, he's like, it could be like, for example, with Dragon Ball Z when Goku was sent off to planet Earth. When Raditz came back in Dragon Ball Z, he's like, "You were supposed to destroy the humans of this planet. What have you been doing all this time, Kakarot?" Right? It's been the same thing with Black Doom. He's gonna come down. He's like, "You were supposed to destroy all these humans. What the hell have you been doing here? Oh, you've been befriending them. Okay, we'll make sure we kill everybody then." So whether that's in a future Sonic the Hedgehog movie or just a standalone Shadow the Hedgehog movie, I'm all for it. I'm
Mhm.
all for it. Now, if they want to set up the Black Arms, they can do a Shadow the Hedgehog show. They make some brand new original character up from the Black Arms, be like a commander next to Black Doom, and you can have it to where Shadow goes up against him, beats him, but then he's like, Black Doom is coming and he'll eradicate this plant. You know, you get my whole thing. If they want to do a TV show. But that was an interesting change in the backstory. I was like, okay. Again, my friend mentioned Maria's not sick. That's another interesting change from the backstory. She's not sick because if you remember from the games, she was very sick, and the key to healing her illness was through Shadow. Couldn't happen,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
And then
Although.
two, our third, they're not on the Ark. Um, the space colony Ark was not actually created at this point in time yet. They were basically in an underground bunker.
Hmm.
Um, And basically, you get the moment where he connected with Maria because after this scene and after everything that happens in the Chow scene, we'll talk about it. what happens in the scene. But as he's walking through the bunker, he remembers the moments of the memories he had with Maria and the fun times that they had together. You get the moment where Maria first meets him. He looks all upset or pissed off at her. He's like,
Yeah. Yeah, but regardless, Maria's just looking at him like she's not really taking him seriously. And one thing leads to another, she starts drawing faces just to have some fun on him. Uh, and then one thing leads to another, Shadow softens up, and they touch like hands through the glass, and yeah.
yes, you get the lovely you and you just get you get a bunch of montages of the moments. I think the one they spent on the longest was when she was riding her roller skates and he was just dragging her as he's running through the complex area of everything. They're bumping into things. They end up bumping into like a cake or something, and they did the snow angels.
That was funny, yeah.
Um, they're watching the movies like like I guess going over to people's houses and everything. Shadow was kind of in the thing where he's just got the elite knees in the back. And they're eating the
Yeah.
popcorn. They're watching a movie of literally the bio lizard. I'm watching this like it's a fucking bio lizard.
Yeah, yeah, and while they're watching, we see Shadow, expressions, feeling a little down just from looking at the movie because it's reminding him of himself of because he thinks of himself as a monster because of how people see him.
Which then leads to a scene where they go up to like this flower garden area, which funny enough, I this is the flower garden scene where they're watching the stars and having this talk. That's realistically an homage to the Dark Beginnings episode one
Yeah.
thing that
Well,
we
not episode one, but the final episode when
oh
Shadow
yeah.
was having flashbacks of really you actually start to feel for Shadow right there.
So they basically talk about the stars and how far they are, and Shadow makes a mention like, "Do you think I can ever reach them?" And she's like, "Yeah, you can." And you just get this nice moment, and she again, it's the whole thing of him saying like, I'm different than you," but she's like, "Oh, I don't care if you're different." And then they hold hands, and basically that's when Shadow's like, "I don't know what I would do without you, Maria." And you're just like, ah, damn, we know what's gonna happen now. So, what ends up happening is obviously somewhat similar to the games. Is the fact now earlier they made the mention like the gun commander talked about like there was an incident, where that led to an explosion and basically Shuttle got taken away and then he got put in cryostasis, right? But what
Hmm.
actually happened was Gunn tried to seize all of, Gerald's, work. Basically, he's running with Maria and Shadow. They're trying to escape, but then you have it to where there's one gun commander's trying to shoot them down. Now, um, um, the old guy, old commander, gun commander, in his younger years, he was trying to stop them. He was like, "Stop! Don't shoot them! They're children!" And the gun commander's like, "I don't give a damn! Who cares?" But he's trying to take the gun from him. The officer pulls the trigger. It hits these explosive. Boom! Explosion happens. Shadow then gets back up after being knocked out, and basically he sees Maria lying down, and then basically you just see the look on Joe Robotnik's face as he's very emotional and crying, and then that what leads to everything, and that's your death of Maria. Now, the death of Maria is the same, just a little bit differently, how it's handled because in the games they actually like shot her dead.
Hmm.
So this is I guess you can say the only PG censored way they could do it, because let's be honest, there was no shot they were gonna actually shoot a fucking child on screen.
Hmm.
And now, if they had done that, I would have been like, Paramount, you have some big balls.
Yeah.
But it's basically the explosion killed her.
Hmm.
But regardless, it was still an emotional scene. It was still an emotional scene.
Yeah. Although I think we're getting a bit of ahead of ourselves because there was some stuff that happened before that.
I
Before
know,
that.
Mr. Denzel. I'm not trying to go scene by scene by scene. I just want to make the mention. Anyways,
You just have a habit of doing that though.
I know, I know. Anyways, cutting back to the Chow Garden scene. Basically, they get that whole reveal, but then you have the egg drones show up and they start attacking Sonic and company, right? And then big
Hmm.
explosions. It's funny. The Chows that were on the stage, also the Chow were singing or whatever. I forgot what song. They were singing some main pop culture reference song or whatever that we have in today's world.
Yeah. They didn't. I can't remember where the reference came from, but yeah,
But I think
it's
they were
something.
singing it in Japanese because they were in Japan or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But the explosions started happening. It's funny because the Chows on the stage were like, "Oh, oh, ah." So that's it of the Chows we see at the Chows. Will we ever get live action Chows? I think they would be adorable. That would definitely be CGI. I don't know how they would look, but again, like I said, we probably won't get Chows till we ever see Chaos.
Hmm.
So that's the thing there. Um, but anyways, these big explosions happening. All of a sudden, this guy on a motorcycle shows up and he's just like boom, 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 takes them and shuts down the egg drones all down.
Police.
And then he
What?
he just drives off. But before Sonic and company leave, they go over to the director of Gun, and basically the director of Gun's like, take this. You need to take it, otherwise, the world will be doomed essentially. And they say he died in the movie. I'm like, wait, he's dead? Because we don't see him
Either.
at all in the rest of the movie. They basically imply like he's dead.
Yeah. That's they. I guess they actually killed the man.
Yeah, well, it killed
Well,
two.
yeah,
It
yeah.
killed
We'll,
two
we'll,
people in
we'll
this
get we'll
movie.
get to that. Yeah, we'll get to that.
So they run off. The other gun agents are showing up. The one gun agent chick, played by Christine Ritter. Shockingly enough, people were kind of disappointed she was just a human character. People thought she would voice act Rouge the Bat if she ever showed up. I think I watched one review. I think the reviewer, when I was driving you home, he thought Christine Ritter would actually be obviously that character, but it'd be like Rouge the Bat, just disguised essentially, right?
Hmm.
But no, it's not.
That would be an interesting plot point, but I don't trust.
So, yeah. Anyways, we'll get back to the next half. We're running out of time. We'll be back for our next half, and hopefully we can finish the movie review. All right. We'll be back in a few minutes, guys. All right, guys. Where did we last leave off on? Oh, I remember, I remember. So they get the thing, which is a key to the Ark, right? A key to
Mhm.
the space colony Ark for the Eclipse cannon. They basically got to keep it. So Sonic has it. Again, um Christine Ritter's character, she's can tell she thinks that Sonic's group is bad because they took the key. But I don't know. I don't know about her character. I feel like she tried to do things for her own purposes.
Hmm. Yeah, she does seem like that arrogant woman kind of character.
So I don't know. Maybe they want to establish her as maybe some sort of maybe potential villain in the future. I don't know, but she definitely looked like she had her own motives of why she wants to, or actually, it seems like she wants to run gun, and she wants to run gun in a type of way where it's like serious. If we see any of these things, they're dead on sight.
Mm.
Like Sonic and Friends. Maybe that's a future movie. Gun goes after them. I don't know.
She did say something a little racist to them when they called them aliens.
Yeah, she was being racist.
Was being a little racist right there.
Maybe she like the two. Maybe she has the same ideologies like the two villains from the Knuckles series who are on the Mushroom Planet right now, who are on Mushroom
Maybe,
Hill Zone.
maybe.
Anyways, so they chase off after the motorcycle guy, and who does the motorcycle guy reveal to be?
Agent Stone.
This guy keeps returning back. He keeps returning back.
Hmm.
He's coming back. He basically says we didn't send the doctor didn't send the egg drones on you guys. Somebody hacked his tech. So they bring up the egg crab that Eggman is in. And I tell you, this man has not done anything for a whole year after losing in Sonic 2. What was this man doing in here?
Watching drama movies while eating a lot of crap, literally.
Yeah, the ongoing gag is he was watching like this like Mexican love drama show.
Hmm.
And they were speaking Spanish, right?
They were speaking Spanish.
But yeah, so that's happening. And this man like legitimately is like heating himself up a burrito in this egg drone. And mind you, this egg drone microwave looks was absolutely disgusting. I was like, oh. And then he literally puts like salsa, sour cream, and guac on it. I think he takes like one, no, he doesn't even take a bite of the burrito. He just throws it
No,
away.
he takes one bite and then throws it away, and then he starts patting his big fat belly to some kind of beat, and then slowly start turning around, and then he he gets jump scared by a stone and his three enemies.
He's like, oh.
Ah!
Jim Carrey, look, man. I think we both know Jim Carrey can't keep this up forever. But listen, man, dude, I don't know how they're going to. If they're going to keep Eggman obviously still a staple, at some point they're going to have to recast him. The
Mm,
only problem with that is Jim Carrey's too charismatic to be recasted.
yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll talk about that in a bit. But Jim Carrey is great as Eggman, and then even Gerald Robotnik. The dude, he was a he's by far the best character in the series. He's by far the best character in the series. Now, yes, can you make the argument? Okay, I wish he was a little bit more serious, not as funny. I'm like, yeah, but regardless, every time he's on screen, I fucking crack up dying of laughter.
Hmm.
He has so many funny moments. The montage with Joe Robotnik was absolutely crazy. This dude legitimately was when they showed the Christmas scene. I legitimately was just like, bro, you can't make this shit up. And he was like, oh!
I mean, we were expecting it, but at the same time, we're not.
But anyways, they basically Dog Agent Stone tells him about the drone tech, and he gets pretty pissed off at the fact of like, oh, so now we know who it is. So he basically tracks their location, and they go to him. They have Eggman wear, get a whole new well, not a whole new outfit yet, but he wears remnants of what he wore from the event from Sonic 2. He literally strips Agent Stone's shirt off of his shirt, off of him.
I need room.
Yeah. And obviously, he's fat now, so he's got the belly, the bloated belly. So there you go. That's how you get Eggman here. You got the bloated belly and everything. I'm just like, oh my goodness. You see Agent Stone shave his hair, which was absolutely hilarious. Which fun fact, they actually let him. Jim Carrey actually had like hair, and they actually like shaved him. Like he let like he let the actor who played Stone actually shave him as they were recording, which actually is pretty dope. Pretty dope to find out they actually did that on set. But then it's funny because then you see the red carpet. Jim Carrey has his hair back again. So now I don't know if he's wearing like a toupee or something. You know, who knows? But then again, the movie it's been a long time, so he could have grew his natural hair out. So yeah. But they go up to the they go to the bay or basically he agrees to work with Sonic as long as Sonic gives him a quill. So Sonic's like, all right, fine, here you go. And then he does that stupid
What?
dude. Every time he did that, I'm just like, bro. Every fucking movie, he gets a quill. He does that. No, I'm like, they gotta stop that shit.
No, no, by all means, keep it.
Oh my goodness. Every time he does that, I just start blurting out laughing because this dude keeps doing it. Oh my God, bro. I can't with this guy anymore. So they go to the gun base, right? The abandoned gun base. We already talked about the Shadow backstory because that thing's Shadow ends up running into Gerald Robotnik, and he's like, our guests are coming. Just hold off and you follow my lead, right? So basically, you see the banter between Sonic and Eggman of how much they don't trust each other. He's basically hitting Sonic in the hip, his hip and everything. So then there's a three different pathway. He's like, okay, you go over here, I'll go with Stone, and then the others two go with them, right? But Sonic's like, no, 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 no. I'm watching you. I'm going with you, Eggman. And Tails, you go with Stone. Knuckles, you going by yourself. And there was also this joke with the fact that Knuckles is actually scared of Ghost. Um,
Yeah,
this could be another homage to Sonic Adventure 2 for Pumpkin Hill and that one ghost boss he fights in the game.
yeah, he did real like a ghost.
So yeah, it was
Oh my
funny.
God, yeah, that whole scene where he went off on his own and yeah, he like he's like really weird. Like he kept getting jump scared by first a pipe, and he's like oh yeah, there's no such thing as a ghost. And then he turns around and then he points the light at Shadow, and Shadow goes boo. And then he's yeah, we all know what happens after that.
Yes. Shadow ends up jumping all of them at some point. Um, you know, funny scenes because he legitimately was scaring the shit out of them.
Especially
Uh,
Knuckles.
yeah. So Sonic and Eggman, they end up going in Maria's old room and everything. Sonic can tell like clearly, somebody used to live here. And then he goes into this one area where they held Shadow in the cryostasis area, and basically Sonic gets knocked out by Shadow and everything, and Shadow's like, I told you not to follow me. So then that leaves Eggman alone, and this is all a part of Joe Robotnik's plan. And that's when you got the scene from the trailer where he encounters his grandpa in a while, and they do the thing was like, and he's like, it couldn't be. And he's like, in the saggy flesh, I'm your grandfather.
Possible. Is it? It can't be. Is it? But are you?
Yeah. Um, they basically Eggman tests Gerald of like, okay, if you say you're my grandfather, do you know this? And he rattles off a bunch of like equations, and obviously Gerald Robotnik got it all right and everything. So that's the thing. They also break the fourth wall here because they're like, he's like, it's almost like as if we're two actors playing the same character, or it's like
Yeah,
we're so unique.
they literally broke the fourth wall right there.
Yeah, because Jim Carrey plays Joe Robotnik and Ivo Robotnik, which was absolutely funny, right?
Hmm.
So essentially, they agreed to team up together, right?
Yep.
So what happens is they basically walk up. Sonic is like, wait, don't tell me I'm getting like this is a dream. There's two of you. So basically, they get the key card, and we find out the reason for the key card is to start obviously the Eclipse cannon, and it's basically, and their plan is to destroy gun headquarters to get revenge, of what happened 50 years ago. And essentially, what we find out is it's also quite different from other games. Now, in the games, obviously, Space Colony Arc and the Eclipse cannon was already created, right? Now in this universe, in jail, Gunn actually asked him while he was in jail to come up with the plans to make the Eclipse cannon or the Space Colony arc, and basically he wants to get revenge on Gunn now that he made it. They just need the key card. So basically, Shadow opens up this black hole, and they're getting sucked in and everything. Eventually, what happens is Sonic tries to do a trick shot with a ring to get out of there. They do end up getting out of there, instead of getting killed by the black hole. Um, Eggman's
Yeah.
happy with his grandfather's like, you killed the rodents in only 1 day, and I couldn't even do it in 2 years. And then obviously Joe's like, don't worry. I got you, my boy. And then that's when you get the montage of them in a VR headset. So I don't know if it was there was no VR sponsor. So I don't know if this was like PlayStation VR or Meta Quest or something. They were just VRing and they were having a good old time.
They were just having family bonding,
Yeah,
apparently.
family bonding. And again, that's where you get the montage of everything they're doing. They're pretending like you get an Eggman Land reference here, which is from
Yeah.
Sonic Unleashed because they're riding a roller coaster. I'm just
Mm.
like, are you fucking kidding me? Agent Stone, he's a little bit upset and sad about this whole thing because he's getting left out of this whole thing, right?
Hmm.
So that's the whole thing. Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails, they end up going back to Tom's house. You get this funny ongoing gag a little bit where Tom and Maddie are just talking about like, it's nice. The kids are not around. We don't have to worry about any natural threats. They're taking good care of it and everything. And I'm like, are they hinting at the fact they want to get a little bit frisky? I can understand. I can understand. And then they just a portal. They just, Sonic and company just portal over. And it's just like, you could clearly tell, like, we don't want to help, but we will if we need to. Also, too,
Uh,
you got the funniest line. So Tom has this fucking, he had this, what do you call it again?
a
A
puppet.
puppet. He got a puppet. And he's having back and forth with Maddie about this puppet. Now, Maddie don't like this thing. She's like, I thought you got rid of that thing. And then he's like, well, I would have got rid of you. Maybe I should have got rid of you. I was like, oh, and she almost killed him. She almost killed him right there.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I heard he said that shit. Oh, I was like, Tom, are you trying to piss off your woman right now? And listen, he married to a black woman. Black women don't play. They will kick your ass if you piss them off. That wasn't supposed to happen.
I wouldn't piss off any woman, but
Yeah, but don't piss off a black woman. They fucking crazy, right?
mhm.
Anyways, that was a funny scene, and every time he kept doing the puppet thing, I was cracking out loud. Like he brings it back up after the plans are discussed, and she gives him that look like she's like, "I better not see that thing again, my face again." Tom Wachowski is he's a demon.
He's a man.
So you basically have this whole plan set up by Tails to get into gun headquarters in London, England. And basically you kind of get this funny, I guess, plan thing, and at the same time you just see Sonic die multiple times.
Yeah, very, very graphic.
Yeah, very graphic. Like only like they gave him like Crash Bandicoot level deaths. Like there's like the point's like, it's like the whole thing, like, well, okay, I'll just break in there. And it's like Sonic running into the gun, but then Child's like, oh yeah, there's this actual like barrier that will disintegrate you if you even touch it. And that happens, and you just see Sonic's shoes all burned up, nothing left. And then it's like, oh, but if we get past this, there's like these lasers, but if you get touched by the lasers, well, you die on
You
contact there too.
you get sliced to bits, and even smaller bits.
Yeah, I was just like, God damn, like the fuck. So, and you got to see Sonic death scenes here, not literally, but
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
Yeah. I think we all get.
So they all go to England for the plan. They're all in their designated stations. Basically, you have it to where Tom and Maddie, they pretend to be their brother and sister-in-laws, the crazy wife and the husband from the second movie, because they were on the posters in the build-up for the movies, and I was like, okay, they're working for Gum. Now you see what's going on here, and it's like, okay, I will say this. I did enjoy their presence in the second movie. I did think it did drag on a bit long, and it took a good chunk of the movie away. But them using their cameos here, solid.
Correct. So when she walked up to to the one guy in the front office, when she's like, "My name is Rachel, gonna kick you," or whatever she said. You wanna
Yeah,
make? Oh my God.
yeah, funny. That scene was funny. So they sneak in. They have to go like deactivate the barrier or whatever.
Hmm.
They manage to get past all the security they need to get past to. They deactivate the barrier, but they still like, wait a second. Tails, is there supposed to be another USB drive with a face and a mustache on it? And then that's when you get one of the weirdest scenes I've ever seen in the Sonic movies. I can see other fans maybe complaining like they could have did without this scene, but it's the dance scene between the two Robotniks.
I personally enjoyed it. I
I
never really.
enjoyed it. I thought it was funny, but I can see people nitpicking and saying they could have taken this scene out.
No, keep it in. Keep it in. Keep it
But
in.
you legitimately have the Robotniks wearing these like light reflective suits, and they're going through this hallway and they're legitimately dancing.
Hmm.
I swear to God. At some point, I'm like, bro, what the fuck is going on? Like, there was one part, like, I think Gerald has his like legs wrapped around Ivo Robotnik. I'm just like, yeah, this is not gay. This is not gay. But I won't say it's gay because it's two of the same people by the same damn actors.
I think it's just dance moves, so don't deem it as
Also, I
gay.
found it very convenient. Like, I'm like, bro, Gerald Robotnik walking around like he fucking 20, doing all these moves. You would think they would be like, oh, my back. Let's go, my boy. No, he's like as light as a spring chicken.
Hmm.
So they get to the main room to get the second key, but they're basically stopped by, or Sonic shows up because he gets in. Um, they chase, but then Sonic starts floating up, and then Eggman and Jared Robotnik end up splatting down, and it's Christine Ritter's character saying like, I'm gonna get the key, and thank you for falling for my trap. Now Sonic tries to convince her, like, hey, you can't let them do this. Like, arrest them, not me. And basically, she's like, please, you took the key yourself too from the. That's why I think she has her own ulterior motives going forward. I'm guessing if they're going to keep continue to establish Gun, I don't know,
Mm.
but she didn't hear Sonic out one bit, right?
Yep.
Eventually, we find out that they also captured Maddie and Tom, right? So
Yeah.
then you kind of get the scene. Knuckles eventually charges in because throughout this whole like break into gun headquarters scene he was like, "Oh, can I do it now? Can I break the glass now?" And eventually Sonic's like, "Okay, Knuckles, break the glass." And he's like, "Yes." So he flies through and he makes things. They ask Knuckles like, "Hey, deactivate the things," but he breaks through the whole things. It makes the whole room go gravity all over the place and everything. You have a funny little get to the key card first between Christine Ritter's character and Eggman, whereas they're like scrunching like a freaking snail or something, or a slug,
Yeah.
or
Something
actually not a slug, a caterpillar, really. Um,
caterpillar, worm, whatever you want.
but what ends up happening is Shadow ends up showing up. No, no, not Shadow ends up showing up. The what actually happens is it looks like we're gonna get a Tom death scene because if you remember in the trailers, You had the moment where Tom is yelling out, Sonic, and you're like, oh shit. And people were predicting, like, wait, are they gonna kill off Tom? I legitimately thought they were gonna kill Tom.
That would be a crazy. That would be crazy.
But you have it to where like these like metal rods were like falling down on them due to the pull of the gravity, and you're just like, oh shit, they might actually kill him. But Sonic musters up his power, breaks it, breaks the cement before crashing into Tom and killing him. The gravity, because of him using his electrical abilities, the gravity shuts off, right? Tom gets the key, and he runs off too. And also, or yeah, he grabs the key, he runs off. He pretends to be the gun commander. Um, he actually tricks Christine Ritter's character, and he's like, they went over there, and she kind of looked a little bit pissed off. So that's what I'm saying. I think she wants to take over Gun.
Yeah. Well, yeah. She tricked her. Yeah, she told her to go over there, but before that, he took the key. He took the key from her. So,
Yeah, because he's like, give me the key now. And she
so
reluctantly gave the key.
hmm
So I have a feeling, I don't know, maybe it will be established that she wants to take over.
hmm
So we'll see where
yeah.
that goes. Because listen, Christine Ritter, she's a pretty big actress. I don't think she would just be done away with a simple movie cameo here. I think there's gotta be some more tie-ins, something, right? So sadly, people who predicted that she could be Rouge in disguise, well, that you don't get what you wanted. Now, she could potentially still voice act Rouge, but still play the gun agent character though.
Yeah, she can still do that. Yeah.
That's if Paramount wants to do it, but we'll see. We'll see where that goes. But anyways, um, so what happens next is Shadow shows up, but then he runs into Tom pretending to be the gun agent. He's like, "You." So then he punches Tom, thus knocking him out. Sonic is like, "Hey Tom, where are you at?" And he sees this happening, and then he gets really sad. He's like, "Tom, Tom, Tom." And Shadow's watching this, and he gets a little bit like, and he remembers back to his time when the same thing happened with Maria. And he's like, screw it. And he just vanishes and teleports away.
Oh yeah.
Um,
He teleported after he says after Sonic goes, "What did you do?" And Shadow responds, "What I had to," and then he disappeared.
yeah. So you get that moment. Tom is taken to the hospital. He's just knocked out. And that's kind of where you get to where Sonic is really pissed off. And basically he's demanding Knuckles. He's like, tell me where the Master Emerald is. That dude is gonna pay for what he did. And Tails is trying to calm Sonic down. He's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Come on, let's make a good decision here. Like, I understand he attacked Tom, but we gotta think right here. And Sonic's just like, look, dude, I don't give a shit. He hurt my family, and I'm gonna make him pay for that. So I'm doing whatever I need to do, which is a parallel. So essentially, the parallels of the thing is like now Sonic's understanding what Shadow felt like with Maria, because now that one of his family members, somebody that he deeply cares about, is very hurt and maybe potentially dead, Sonic's all pissed off and he wants to get revenge.
Yeah,
And go ahead.
yeah. This leads to the whole like stare down between Sonic and Knuckles. Like Knuckles goes like, "The Master Emerald's power it should not be used for vengeance." And
And I
and
forgot to mention in the planning scene, before everything that happens here, Tom asks like, "Hey, why not just go find the Master Emerald and we can just use its power? You can go super and that." But then that's when they made like at some point during the middle between I guess Sonic 2 and the Knuckles series, they made the oath to never use the Master Emerald unless they positively had to use it. Um, and basically Knuckles hit it somewhere else. But you have this confrontation, like my friend was saying, where I'm like, oh, are we getting Sonic versus Knuckles right here, right now again?
you can feel the intensity. You can feel the intensity as they're glaring at each other. There's Tails is in the middle, like, "Boys, please calm down."
Yeah, and you
And
happen to where like, Knuckles was sticking up for Tails. He's like, look, man, Tails is trying to is right. He's trying to help you. don't need to be all rude to him, but that's the whole thing. Eventually, Knuckles succumbs. He's like, all right, I'll tell you where it's at. Where's the
But
Master
you,
Emerald?
but you had to get through a powerful warrior in order to get it. Yeah.
So you would think, maybe we get an Angel Island tease here. What happens?
Turns out the Master Emerald is with Wade.
Yes, Wade Whipple.
Yep. And Wade, for some reason, is playing hockey with the Master Emerald as the puck.
Sonic goes through the ring portal. He's like, Wade's like, oh, hey, Sonic, what you doing? And Sonic's just all pissed. He's like, give me the Master Emerald, dude.
Yeah, but Wade was like, sorry, dude. I made a vow to protect it, but Sonic just swipes it.
Yep.
And then Wade's like, well, I tried.
There's your Wade Whipple cameo.
And yes,
I definitely can see maybe some Sonic fans being pissed off at this. They're gonna be like, we could have had Angel Island here, but you're telling me the Master Emerald's with Wade Whipple? I can
eh,
see some die-hard Sonic fans being a little bit triggered. It's just there for comedic purposes. I had no issues with it. It makes sense. If you watch the Knuckles tie-in show, you'd see why he had it.
mm-hmm. And well, right there, Sonic didn't waste any time. He used the Master Emerald's power. It turned into 7 Chaos Emeralds, and then he turned into Super Sonic, and he starts flying up into the sky.
Yes. Also at the same time, that's when the Robotniks use the Eclipse Cannon to fly up. Eggman also told Dr. Stone off and said, "You're fired," essentially. And Dr. Stone was like, "What?" So then you get to the climax of the film, right? So realistically, one, we find, Shadow remembers again everything. He asked the doctor, like, "Doctor, are you sure we're doing the right thing?" And Gerald's like, "Yes, my boy, we are doing the right thing. Now go on there and let's make Maria's plan a success. We're doing this for Maria, right?" And so he runs up on the thing. He starts running, charging up the chaos energy, and that gets the countdown started to the Eclipse Cannon being ready to be fired. In the meantime, they see something flying up to them, and it's obviously Sonic in his supersonic form. He then
Oh,
grabs.
we forgot to mention Eggman's reaction to Gerald Robotnik's real plan when he found out that Gerald wanted to destroy the world, not conquer it. Yes, Eggman was like, "What? You I just found my grandfather. I know he wants to destroy us all." Yeah, yeah, because yes, Gerald Robotnik says he's going to destroy the world, including him and his grandson. It's like, but 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 with the two of us, we could rule the world. But Gerald goes on to say that humans are a failed experiment. They rejected you so many times, your entire life. Now they have to pay and stuff. But Eggman's like, but I now have you. And but Gerald also now says, my family was dead to me after I lost Maria. So, Eggman like now knows the truth. And yes, now we're getting
And then he also, Gerald's told him, he's like, also, you're not even. He basically took a dig at Eggman, saying like, you're
you're
not,
no
you don't even live up to Maria's legacy, essentially. And he said that shit. I was like, ooh.
wow.
I was like, damn. And see, and then that's when you get you see it, and that's when you get serious Joe Robotnik, like the one where you saw in the Adventure 2 games where he did the countdown type of thing, and you could tell he was wanting to get rid of everybody, right? Just like in the video games. So that is faithful to the video games right there. Oh, and then I also forgot to mention, the Eclipse Cannon is not powered through the Chaos Emeralds like they were in the video games, it's again powered through Shadow's chaos energy, which is a lot different. But anyways, that's when Sonic comes in as Super Sonic, and that's when he takes it to fight with Shadow, and shockingly enough, Shadow even knocks him out of his super form. I was like, oh wow. So then they see the Master Emerald in the middle, or the Chaos Emeralds in the middle, and then they charged up to go at it, and then they back off. Sonic goes back in his super form, right? And
Hmm.
then he looks up.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now have Super Sonic versus Super Shadow.
Again, I don't want to bring up the crowd in my theater, but my God, there was if I'm telling you, there should have been a reaction like oh, where we hear applause. I gotta be honest, I was disappointed in my movie theater. There should have been an applause. That told me long enough. There was no true Sonic fan in our movie theater. It was just you, me, my brother, and my sister. Maybe I should have just started clapping up, and maybe people would have caught on. But when they revealed Super Shadow, I was like, no. I was just like, they're not doing this right now. They're not doing this right now. They're not doing this right now.
They are. They are.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have never, in the entire Sonic history, we have never gotten Super Sonic versus Super Shadow. The only time we've gotten that fight was in the Metarex saga in Sonic X. And that wasn't realistically a fight. He just punched him in the gut and he sent him down to the earth that was I forgot what the damn main Metarex bad guy was named. But he
Darko.
knocked him out of his super form there, right?
Yeah, that wasn't even. No, we can't even consider that a fight. No.
I'm not gonna consider the fight, but that was the only time you legitimately could say Super Sonic and Super Shadow got physical with each other. But regardless, that was this whole fight scene was a tease to what happened a little bit in Sonic X. I was just at a loss for words. I was like, we're actually doing this right now. We are getting Super Sonic versus Super Shadow. Oh my God. My only regrets is this. I enjoyed the fight. It was all, this fight was on crack. This fight was on crack. I'm not even going to explain it. It was on crack. They were going all over the planet, punching each other, and dog, I have no words.
I Yeah, this whole fight was insane. The visuals insane. The choreography was insane. Oh my God.
And Shadow looks exactly like Super Shadow does in the game. He doesn't exactly look yellow. It's more like of a whitish yellow.
Yeah, yeah, that's exactly it.
You know, you have that moment in the fight where Shadow's like, now you know how I felt when you had your loved one taken away from you and everything. And Shadow kind of eggs Sonic on. He's like, what was his name again? Oh, yeah. It was Tom, wasn't it? And that pisses Sonic off to the point he flies him all the way to the moon. And he's at the point where he's just like, and he's like, do it! Kill me, Sonic! I'm just like, oh my God! Dude,
Yes,
this is one of the darkest Sonic moments, and one of the most times we've seen Sonic get like this close to killing somebody in the entire Sonic series. Like we've seen moments where he would get pissed off, like that Dark Sonic moment in Sonic X, right? But we haven't seen a moment where he's like legitimately like holding somebody by their neck and he's going to potentially kill them.
speaking of Dark Sonic, I thought he was gonna turn Dark Supersonic during this fight, but I guess it's too soon to tell.
So you get that whole moment, and he's like, and he's in charge, just like, do it, kill me. But then
Yes.
Sonic just remembers what Tom told him about his heart and not changing the person who he is. And then he just drops out and he just walks away. And he's just like, let's just stop this, man. Let's just stop this.
This isn't me. This isn't right. And Shadow was like, why? Why didn't you finish me off? You could have ended it right here and there. And Sonic goes on to say, when it comes to vengeance, there are no winners, just more pain.
Yeah. He tells him the story about losing Long Claw and how much that hurt him. And everything. And basically he tells him like, look, just because Maria might be gone, it doesn't mean like she's not in your heart. She's still there. And that basically convinces Shadow to regret what he's done. And that's the thing. Now, we're out of time. We'll come back and we'll talk about the climax of the movie and the post-credit scene and the mid-credit scene. We'll be back real quick, guys.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But back, yes, but they obviously talk it out and they basically, Sonic is like, come on, let's do this. Let's work together and let's stop the Eclipse Cannon. So they team up. Now, again, the fight was great. I enjoyed it. I do wish it kind of went a little bit longer, but it is what it is. But regardless, getting Super Sonic versus Super Shadow was absolutely crazy because again, like I said, outside of maybe that little mini fight in Sonic X, we've only seen Sonic and Shadow ever fight off in their base forms.
Mm-hmm.
Never have we ever seen Super Sonic versus Super Shadow. Honestly, to me, I'm glad they did that. I think that's honestly even a better moment than if they just wanted to put the Bio Lizard in this game. I mean, in this movie.
Yes. That whole fight really just did it for me. Like I said this on my Instagram that I was on the edge of my seat the entire time. No pun intended. Did
Yeah.
it? No? Okay, I'll stop.
So, anyways, what happens is they agree, they both turn back into Super Sonic and Super Shadow, and they agree to take down the Eclipse Cannon. Now, Gerald sees this, and then he releases gun robots, and go on, I know what you're gonna say.
Honestly, I would that I was literally about to get off my seat also during this, but when they transform, the actual song "Live and Learn" started playing.
It wasn't
Um,
word for
um, I mean,
it's
albeit
a
it's a kind
remix
of a yeah, it was a remix, but the vocals and everything,
from the
the
original
vocals,
Crush 40.
when it started playing, I was like, they actually did it. They actually, oh my god! I I I was literally crying tears of joy right there.
Did you actually cry?
No, but I came close to.
Yeah. That was crazy hearing that, and I'm just like, this is the movie. This is the movie. It's obviously way better than Sonic 1. We watched Sonic 2 and we're like, how are they gonna top this?
How
They
are they going to top
they
this?
they they topped Sonic. They topped Sonic. Look, we already know we're getting Sonic form. We'll talk about that in a bit. But I'm sorry. I don't see how any future Sonic movies unless they do something crazy. Or I guess until we get Chaos, I guess. I don't see how anything's gonna top this. Well, maybe Metal Overlord could, but we'll get into that in a second. But anyways, they're charging in, they're taking out the gun robots, they're working together hand in hand. It's just dope action. Just dope action. Like legitimately. In the meantime, you have Gerald and Eggman fighting each other. This dude literally, also, I forgot to mention, when they go on the Eclipse Cannon, they had their Eggman had his video game design jacket. His red jacket, and Gerald wore like a white version of that, right? It's
Hmm.
still pretty, it was badass jacket. I'm like, yes, this is the Eggman. Also, too, there was one part of the movie, I think he gets a phone call or something, and you
Yes,
do
yes.
hear the I am the Eggman,
Yeah,
the master plan.
it didn't do that part, but like
Yeah, yeah. So obviously that's an homage to the or a reference to the video game uh of Sonic Adventure 2 battle theme for Eggman, right?
hmm.
So anyway, so they're charging in, but like I said, you have it where Gerald and Eggman are having a literal fight with each other. This man uses like nanotechnology, and like one of it is where he turns himself into a goddamn scorpion. The other one, Eggman turns himself into a damn praying mantis. And you see these two just fighting. And
He sliced off his mustache also.
look, man, I, I was I was honestly face palming of laughter. I was like, what the fuck am I watching here? And they're just like, ha, ha, ha. Like, only Jim Carrey could do Jim Carrey things like this.
Uh-huh.
Yes. So he's a praying mantis. He cuts off his one half of Gerald's mustache, and Gerald's like, how could you? And you eventually Gerald overtakes Ivo and beats Eggman, and he's holding him in. And it's honestly the way they portrayed it. Maybe they did this because I don't. Well, actually, no, they didn't know they were going to release this movie around the same time as say Mufasa. Um, but honestly, the way it was looking, I'm like, this looks like something I saw at a Lion King, where it's like,
Long long live the king.
yeah, yeah, that whole thing. Coincidentally enough, Mufasa is also going up against this movie in the box office too.
I think it's gonna get overshadowed by this movie. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
clearly, clearly. At some point during my Christmas break, I'm going to go see Mufasa. There will be a review about Mufasa. I did review the original, or I did review the live action Lion King. I'll give Mufasa a chance. It's only fair.
Go
And I
ahead.
guess we'll have to also go watch the Lilo and Stitch live action movie too and review that. At least Stitch looks like Stitch, though.
At least.
And he sounds like him, too. Now we just need Mr. Bubbles. I hope Terry Crews is Mr. Bubbles, though.
Hmm.
That would be dope. Because he could have the one earring and the sunglasses. Terry Crews needs to be Mr. Bubbles. Bubbles! Sorry, that's a fun meme. My bad. Anyways, so you have that happen. He's basically holding on. He's like, just
Yeah.
help me. I didn't. And
Yeah.
obviously, Joe's like, I'm sorry.
Hmm.
Oh, Ivo, you just fail to realize you can't trust anyone, not even your own grandfather. So he kicks him off, and it looks like he's gonna fall to his death because he opened up like the hatch. And I'm like, good God, are they actually gonna just drop him for the fucking space? But no, Tails comes in the nick of time with a ring.
This scene, th- th- this next part of the scene left me in utter shock because
Oh, I was in shock too. My jaw.
I did not I did not expect them to do what they just did. So yes, Tails flies up holding Eggman, and with that one Sonic quill that he has, which is now basically a super quill because Sonic is currently supersonic, he catches Gerald off guard and pierces Gerald in the ass. Yes, and Gerald's like, whoa! He goes up flying towards the chaos energy left by Shadow that's charging up the chaos cannon, and he gets incinerated. He gets incinerated. legit, they kill, they kill,
Bruh.
they
When I saw
kill.
that, I was like,
I was like,
oh.
they, oh God.
I honestly kind of laughed when I saw that.
I was like,
There's
oh
no way
God,
they just did
no.
that. They just like literally killed him off like he was some sort of fly on the wall. And they literally make a reference like, it's like a bug zapper.
Oh God, he died. That's horrible.
Yeah. That's the most PG way you can kill a character off in a, I guess you'd say, children's movie.
Even then, oh my God.
Yeah. That, that was absolutely insane. I'm like, God damn. I'm like, they killed Gerald Robotnik off like that. Like, yeah. He gets incinerated. I'm like, oh wow. I okay.
That's horrible. Anyways, moving on.
Yes, moving on. Oh, we forgot to mention. Gerald Robotnik also had a quill of shadow, and they were standing side by side, and he put the quill up to his mouth, and he did a. I was just like, when he did that, I legitimately I was this close to walking out the theater. I was like, ain't no way this dude got doing this too. This dude just as weird as this fool. But anyways, during the fight, Gerald actually broke the console to shut down the command to even shut down the Eclipse cannon. So what happens is the Eclipse cannon is gonna fire regardless now, right? And they
Hmm.
ran out of time. So the beam is Sonic and Shadow end up taking care of all the gun robots. They're basically working together to hold the beam back from firing on planet Earth. In the meantime, you have it where Tails, Knuckles, and Eggman they're moving the cannon out the way so they can move it so it doesn't hit Earth. Because if it hits Earth, everybody dies. Everybody dies. So
Yes.
they're moving it, they're moving it, they're moving it. Sonic is holding the best he can, but he can't hold it long enough. And he's like, I'm losing it. And you see him start to deform from his super form, right?
Mhm.
Eventually, he does deform from his super form. And then Shadow is still holding it, but luckily enough, they moved it out the way. Now, the only thing is this. They do the things just like the video games. Only difference is not one half of the moon is destroyed. Like
They pissed on the moon.
a good bottom chunk of the moon is gone now.
Hmm.
So somewhat like the games. They ended up saving the day, and everything's happy-go-lucky, but there's one more problem. And because of the overcharge of the chaos energy, this is probably where Gerald mentioned the fact, like, oh, we're gonna die together too. Because I think Gerald knew, like, after they fired the cannon, the space colony arc was just going to just blow up on itself, right? So basically, okay, yeah, it's good, but the thing is, if it's since the arc is near the Earth, if it blows up, it's just gonna take the Earth out. It's basically like some nuclear explosion, right?
Hmm.
Um, so basically, what happens is Knuckles and Tails they go save Sonic from literally falling to his death. Honestly, honest to God, almost similarly of like what is it like Sonic Unleashed when he almost fell to the ground so many times. Actually, that way that now thinking about it, that is a Sonic Unleashed reference when they fell from space and crashed into Earth because that's what happened in Sonic Unleashed in the very first cutscene.
Yes.
He falls from space and he crash lands. So there's your Sonic Unleashed reference, your second one, right? We have to wonder if we will eventually get a Sonic Unleashed like live action movie. That would be dope too. That would be another fucking dope ass movie they could do. We can go Werehog live action Sonic. Oh my god,
That'd be
darn
pretty
god,
good.
dude! If they're gonna do that movie, that would be dope. But they're gonna have to get a lot of money for that project because my god, they would have to not only CGI Werehog Sonic, they would have to CGI Dark Gaia and fucking Chip in his Golem form. That would be
Yes.
like movie budget they gotta save up for. But
Hmm.
I'm here for it. If we ever were to get a storyline with Dark Gaia, that could be like another final, like we want to end off this live action movie Sonic universe Dark Guy is another perfect choice to go with to be the final antagonist that they got to overcome.
Hmm.
That could be another thing where you get Super Sonic, Super Shadow, and even Super Silver. Maybe change some shit up there. That would be dope. But anyways, Shadow is the one that stays behind. He's still in his super form. He's pushing the arc out the way from the planet, and he's basically doing this for Maria. And he takes off his inhibitor rings to get the power boost he needs. In the meantime, Eggman's from within, and he's trying to limit the explosion damage he can. And as he's getting ready, he then sends a message to Earth, mostly to Agent Stone, but all the people of Earth. Again, a this is a reference to Sonic Adventure 2 when he first went up in the arc and he told the people of the Earth, like, I'm gonna destroy it with the Eclipse Cannon. You know, that whole message he sent in Sonic Adventure 2 when he did the demonstration of blowing up the moon, right? So
Hmm.
that's when he tells Dr. Stone or Agent Stone, like, listen, I'm sorry I had to do this, but I have left with no choice. You know, you were always a loyal, faithful servant to me, and you were a true friend. Because that was the whole storyline with Agent Stone and Eggman, because Tails made a mention, like, but isn't Eggman your friend? And that's the thing. And he's like, if I can't destroy the world, if I can't take over the world, then I might as well save it. You know, that line from the freaking trailer too.
Hmm.
So basically, the big explosion happens. Shadow gets caught up in the blast. We'll talk about it in a second. But more importantly, Eggman also sacrifices his life to save the planet. So that happens. The movie then cuts back to Sonic and friends enjoying another party. Um, they have another race, and that's it of the movie.
Yeah. And yes, that crazy, crazy movie. Insane. Oh my God. Their
Yeah,
own take on the
by
movie.
far, this is the best Sonic movie out of the three.
Yes. Now let's talk about the after end credit scene because
Let's
that
talk about it. So after getting the your typical cinematic, you know, credit scene, which when I watched the review, it's the character models was from the character models of Sonic the Fighters. Those were the character models by the song is, you know, I forgot what the song's called, but it's played by Jelly Roll. Personally, as for a credit song, no. I like the first credit song and then the second mid credit song more than the Jelly Roll song. Why they decided to go with country music for a variant? No, I would have rather seen a rap music done for this shit. I
Mm.
don't want country. No, maybe because I hate country music, but I heard this song. I'm like, I'm sorry, this ain't doing this for me. Stupid. Give me fucking Speed Me Up Again. I'd rather hear Speed Me Up Again. That was actually a good one. Anyways, the character models of Sonic the Fighter. So you get your pudgy Shadow the Hedgehog fat belly that people wanted to see. They wanted to see what Shadow the Hedgehog looked with the fat classic belly, right?
Mm.
They do the pose, the Sonic and Shadow pose. They also do it in the movie when they're Super Sonic and Super Shadow. But dope. When I saw that, I'm like, I saw the pose they were doing, obviously from the cover art of SA2. I'm like, yes, this is all I asked for. Okay, mid-credit scene. So Sonic runs, he wins the race. I don't know, for whatever reason, he runs all the way to New York. So he runs to New York, and next thing you know, you see these eyes light up, and then you see the footsteps, and it's the footsteps of a very familiar character, and then you see the face. Sonic turns around and he's like, "Who the hell are you?" Doesn't say anything, and it's
Well, actually,
revealed to be Metal Sonic.
well, it actually didn't go like that. And Sonic never actually turned around. Never actually turned around. It was more like Metal Sonic was aiming at him, but obviously Sonic moved out of the way and appeared behind him. But yes, the Metal Sonic, he's back.
In his classic design, live action, Metal Sonic is here. Sonic's like, please. He knocks him out for a bit. Then his head's all knocked around, but he twists his head around. Sonic's like, okay, well, all right, I guess I'll have to take it to you.
Yeah,
And then you
yeah,
just see
nice
all these
cluster.
red eyeballs in the background show up. And next thing you know, you all the you have an army of Metal Sonics just walk up and surround Sonic. And I'm just like, you think you would think, okay, this is where they're gonna probably cut it off, and that's we're gonna cut to the next movie for Sonic 4. Nope. You see this pink attack happen and then jump up in the air. Hammer shows up, person in a cape, slams down on Metal Sonic and gets rid of all of them. And then Sonic's like,
Who
who
are
are you?
you?
Takes off the hood. And lo and behold, Amy Rose is on your screen.
What can I say? What can I say, guys? He predicted it, guys. He predicted it.
Yes, for background information, like off screen, like I was driving from work so I could pick him up to go see the movie. I literally told him on the phone for the mid-credit scene because I've seen a lot of people who saw the movie early because they had like the press passes and everything. They said, "Stay for the mid-credit scene. Your mind will be blown." Okay, obviously Metal Sonic blew my mind, but I told my friend the characters that I think we could get in the mid-credit scene is this: we would either get Silver the Hedgehog or Amy Rose. One of the two we would be getting in the mid-credit scene. I personally said I would rather see Silver more than Amy, but if I were to see Amy Rose, I would not be shocked. I got what I came to see. And realistically, you get two reveals in one mid-credit scene. You get Metal and Amy. We'll talk about where they could potentially be going. You watch the post, you get through the credits. You watch the post-credit scene is of Shadow. First, you see the inhibitor ring from Shadow in the dirt, and then Shadow's foot shows up, and then they have the Live and Learn theme playing in the background, which basically confirms that Shadow is still alive. And that's where the movie ends. That's it. We gotta wait. They've already confirmed that Sonic the Hedgehog 4 will be happening in 2 years in 2027.
What can I say? This movie was. Oh my God! This movie was a roller coaster.
This movie was a roller coaster, and I'm happy about the post credit scene. I'm happy that they did. It looks like they're not gonna do the whole thing, the fake Shadow death, and they're gonna bring him back. And it seemingly enough, it looks like they won't do the amnesia angle that he had, basically from Sonic Shadow the Hedgehog, realistically up until like fucking Sonic Heroes, because they kind of dropped that storyline once they got to '06.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but you get the craziness of the full Sonic 3 movie, and then they give you that mid-credit scene, and it's like, motherfucker, I gotta wait 2 more years to see the next movie? Motherfucker, release it 2026. All right. We talked about our thoughts on the movie. The movie is fantastic. It's the best Sonic movie to date. I don't know why. I still do not have Sonic the Hedgehog 2 on DVD. But when this movie comes out on DVD and Blu-ray, I'm not only getting this one, I'm getting Sonic the Hedgehog 2. And then I'm rewatching all three of the movies again. This was phenomenal. This movie was for the fans. This was for the fans. If you are a Sonic hardcore fan, you know each and every reference they drop in this movie. From the Live and Learn stuff to the Team Sonic stuff, everything. The Eggman Land and Sonic Unleashed stuff. I have no words. Props to Paramount Pictures. Props to Jeff Fowler and everybody working on this staff. Legitimately. I still remember to this day, we got that ugly Sonic trailer. And I'm just like, what are they doing? What are they doing? and then they changed it. They changed the design, and since then, we thought we were going to get a flop. And because they changed the design, we are literally getting a cinematic universe. We legitimately could get 10 of these fucking Sonic movies.
Could be.
We can. What's stopping them? It's going to make them money because Sonic fans love it and they're going to show up. And as long as the movie's good, they're going to keep making more of these things.
There is one potential thing that could stop them. Some of the actors retiring.
Yes, obviously actors being older. Let's get with this. So Eggman dead, potentially. Is he dead? Is he not? We don't know. The only reason why we say we don't know, and it's the same thing like with Sonic the Hedgehog 2. The reason why they look like they killed Eggman off in Sonic 2 is because they didn't know if Jim Carrey was coming back to reprise the role. He luckily reprised the role again. Mostly, he said in interviews he came back because he needed money. At least he's honest. Like, I don't blame him. He'd get a big paytime check from this, right? Now, if Jim Carrey wants to come back, I'm all for it. Now, it's going to be interesting to see how Jeff Fowler and company try to write the area or write the fact, how does he survive in a massive nuclear explosion? Something they got to come up with. I don't know. But Jim Carrey's getting up there in age, and we all realistically know he can't play the character all the time. At some point, he's going to get so old, and eventually he's going to die. I don't mean to get pretty morbid, but let's be honest, right? He's not exactly a spring chicken. He's like, I think in his like 60s right
now. I think so.
So he can't play the character every now and then. He can't. I'm guessing what they might do if they really want to write his character off completely, one of two things can happen. They can either this will get into the Sonic CD stuff. Okay. We got Amy and Metal Sonic revealed. It's clear what they're going to do. It seems like Sonic 4 is going to be the storyline of Sonic CD. Only difference is it seems like Amy's going to be more of a fighter than a damsel in distress than she was in the video games, right?
I guess.
Because as of late in recent Sonic games and shows, she's been an ally to Sonic where she can defend herself. She hasn't been the damsel in distress she once was. Now, the question is, the more we get into this character, is she going to be the, like, plutonic, I like you, Sonic? Or is she going to be like, I really admire you, Sonic, and I'm massively in love with you. I'm a big fan. Is she going to be that Amy Rose? We don't know. But knowing recent Sonic medium, it's going to probably be the what I first said. It's going to be, you can tell they have a clear-cut, like, I like you, you like me, but they try to hide it between each other, right? They did that in the Sonic Boom cartoon, and you get hints and tips in Sonic Frontiers that they actually do, like Sonic actually like romantically likes her, and they just keep it very respectful between the two, right?
Yes, because the way they introduced her in the mid credits scene, she looks like more of a badass character.
Yeah, more of a badass, like maybe freedom fighter like character. I can definitely see the jokes write themselves in Sonic 4. Tom's gonna be like, hey, that girl's kind of cute. Come on, Sonic, shoot your shot, man. And he's gonna be like, what? No, come on. But hey, listen, in the Sonic Boom cartoon, it's very clear that they made it to where Sonic does like Amy like that. So maybe they do have it like that. Maybe they actually twist it where it's like maybe Sonic's more into her than she's into Sonic. And she's like, I gotta defeat these metal Sonics. Help me out, dude. But Sonic's trying to shoot his shot and try to get her attention. That'd be pretty cute. That'd be a nice reversal role. Because she is a hedgehog too.
Yeah.
Anyways, what I'm getting at is a Sonic CD. And if you've played Sonic CD, they've involved the past and the future stuff, right? When you go through the levels, right? If you run past one of the past or future, like, medals or signs or whatever, if you run fast enough in the level, you can go either to the past or the future. So where the Eggman thing can come in, maybe this is where if Jim Carrey's like, I'm done, I'm retiring, I don't want to come back. You can actually have it to where maybe you recast somebody to play an Eggman from the past or an Eggman from the future, I'm guessing. And he can be your main Eggman going forward. Because let's be honest, Sonic can go as far as long as Eggman is there. My best guess is this. Now, obviously, the question is who made these Metal Sonics? That's the question. We
Hmm.
don't know.
We don't know.
Now, I did see a review saying, like, what if this was like some sort of fail safe by Dr. Eggman if he ended up getting killed by Sonic? Then there was a protocol that activated Metal Sonics. Because remember, he had the quills in the past two movies. So he could have
Hmm.
used the quill to create a Metal Sonic. And in that review, somebody said it could be like a failsafe. The moment he dies, that's when Metal Sonic activates. And then he goes after Sonic to get revenge on Eggman for him killing Eggman, right? That
Even
could
though
be one
Sonic
thing.
is man.
Um, Other than that, my only other guess is maybe it's an Eggman from the past that created a Metal Sonic, or maybe an Eggman from a different universe, something to get maybe a new actor to be the role of Eggman. Now, obviously, if they go the route of recasting, we'll see who could take up the role. But
Have you have you heard of this one Sonic character that I rarely hear anything about? Eggman Nega?
I don't think they're gonna do that.
Yeah, because wait, what is he supposed to be exactly? Like Eggman's like future son or something?
I don't know.
Because I've only ever seen him in like one game,
Yeah, that was Sonic Rush, but if they're ever gonna do that, they gotta introduce Blaze the Cat.
which I'd be totally down for.
But anyways, it could be an Eggman from the future, an Eggman from the past. That's when you can then recast it if you want Jim Carrey to be retired, and that's the send off to his character. I will say, as I love Jim Carrey and his performance. His Eggman obviously won't be topped, but I would love it if they do recast the role. The new Eggman is more serious, and he's like, "I'm going to kill this fucking hedgehog if it's the last thing I do." So basically, kind of like the 90s cartoon where he was literally roboticizing people.
Mm,
Like I'm talking about like that dark Eggman. I want that type of Eggman. Then we can really flip some shit.
so no comedy or whatsoever, just serious Eggman.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Serious. It would be a change of pace because you want to distinct Jim Carrey's Eggman from a new Eggman if you recast him. Because you have the same comedic Eggman, it may not work for some people. Some people be like he's trying to be Jim Carrey, but he's not. So that's why I'm saying maybe it's better if you recast an Eggman, you go for a more serious Eggman tone. And then it's like, okay, you can have like, Amy's like, hey, there's this dude called Egg or Robotnik or Eggman in my time or something, and he's effed up. And he's made these metal things or whatever of you or something. I don't know. I don't know where the story's gonna go. But what we do know is it looks like Sonic 4 is gonna be Sonic CD. That's what it looks like it's going to be. And it's going to be the grouping. And it's funny. We first walk in the movie theater. We see obviously the Sonic 3 poster, but we see another Sonic the Hedgehog poster, and it's got Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Amy. And when I saw that post credit scene, and I thought for a minute, I'm like, that poster literally spoiled the mid credit scene. Why didn't I not see that before?
Well, I guess it wasn't really much of a spoiler considering we saw it for the first time and we just thought it's just another Sonic poster just to promote the movie.
Yeah.
But I guess we did not expect it to be like actually promoting the mid credit scene also
Yeah.
teasing us.
So Amy's going to eventually join the group, join the party of our heroes. Um, I don't know where they could go with this Metal Sonic storyline. I don't know where they could go. I think I watched another reviewer saying like there is a comic storyline in Sonic's history where it's just strictly it's strictly like just a group of Metal Sonics, like this Metal Sonic Council or whatever that try to take down Sonic. I don't know. I haven't heard about that before, but I can see where an Eggman does it. And I feel like this could be a combination of maybe Sonic CD and Sonic Heroes. And where I say it at that is they want to go big, they want to go epic for the final battle. Yeah, you can do Sonic versus Metal Sonic. Yes, okay. But you can, if you want to go big and you want to go epic, and again, we just saw this in Sonic X Shadow Generations, right? Too, with Metal Sonic, right? What if in the climax of that movie, we don't just get regular Metal Sonic, we get Metal Overlord? Because he was the final, he
Honestly,
was a final, he's the final boss in Sonic Heroes.
honestly, they should. They should.
And maybe they go their route of it's like some things from Sonic CD, some storylines from Sonic CD, obviously the Metal Sonic and the Amy stuff. If they incorporate the past and the future stuff, that's your Sonic CD stuff. But then you can incorporate Sonic Heroes stuff because in Sonic Heroes, Metal Sonic came back after his defeat in Sonic CD. He was like Neo Metal Sonic with a new design. And you can maybe even have in the movie, he gets to that design and then he then evolves into Metal Overlord. And throughout Sonic Heroes, he was actually like observing like battle data from all the Sonic characters in the games to then end up becoming Sonic or Metal Overlord. So potentially we could get Metal Overlord in the next movie, which I think that would be dope if we see Metal Overlord live action. Again, CGI budget would have to be top tier for that.
Mm.
Um, Now, to our knowledge, the only Sonic characters we know, they could potentially introduce more Sonic characters in a Sonic 4. Because and maybe they do a different trend because so far in even every single movie, with the exception of Sonic 2, we've gotten every new Sonic character. You know, in Sonic 1, obviously Sonic, um, and a little bit of the Echidnas. Sonic 2 was Tails and Knuckles. Sonic 3 was just Shadow, and then obviously this new movie will be Metal Sonic and Amy. Will they add more characters like Rouge the Bat, um, or any or Team Chaotix or something like? I don't know. I don't know. They could, but we'll just have to see. Again, they're creating a whole universe. They're creating a whole universe now. The with Amy being introduced, they can bring in any Sonic character they want going forward. So that's the thing. Shadow's gonna play a role eventually. He's still alive. What do they do with Shadow's character going forward? I don't know. I know Idris Elba talked about he wants to have a Shadow and Knuckles TV Paramount Plus show. That would be dope. But personally, we're either gonna get one of these two things with Shadow. We're either gonna get a Paramount Plus TV show where he's gonna be working for Gunn, just like he did in '06, right? Um, Maybe that's when they introduce Rouge the Bat. Maybe. Or they just do a standalone Shadow movie led by Keanu Reeves. And maybe that's when they introduced Black Doom, because I don't think they would do Mephiles. No. If they're gonna do the Sonic 06 storyline, Silver has to be in that.
Mm. But doesn't Knuckles have like the Flames of Disaster already? So
Yeah.
so wouldn't Mephiles be so? I feel like Knuckles would be more involved with Mephiles in this universe compared to Silver.
Or maybe they change it to where maybe Dark Guy is the future threat that shit Silver can't defeat. I don't know.
Yeah, either way, it's just all speculation until the Sonic 4 comes out, guys. So let us know your predictions down below. Also, what you think will happen in this next movie that's gonna come up. I think we've spoken enough, don't you think?
Yeah, I'm all tuckered out. I'm just happy that we're getting a Sonic cinematic universe.
Mm.
And no, this will not lead to any Smash Brothers stuff. No, there is going to be no Smash Brothers movie. I know there's going to be a Zelda movie coming out soon, but no,
Excuse
we're
me.
not. Huh?
Excuse me.
You didn't know? We're getting a live action Zelda movie, Legend of Zelda movie.
I think I heard about it, but I thought it was just
No, that's
okay.
actually legit. We're getting a live action Legend of Zelda movie. That's the next
Hmm.
video game movie I know of that's coming.
Gee. Okay.
Anyways, we're gonna get out of here, guys. If you guys like the video, leave a like, put in the comment section your thoughts. Um, Nothing else to say. Hit that subscribe button to both our channels. I'll leave a link in the description below. Until then, guys. Stay safe out there and have a great rest of your day. Peace.
Yes. And happy holidays.